Are we? Are we supposed to be hearing something? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think we are.
Episode 115. Oh, yeah. We are live. We are doing our first live stream podcast right now. Apparently, we just had a hiccup. Nobody could hear the intro that I just played. Judging by people's faces is what it is. But, yeah, it's a big one. We're coming in hot. Zach, what are we doing right now, man? I mean, before we get into everything, just tell people what's going on right now.
What's going on? We're live on Twitch. That's what's going on. Mackie Studios presents Submersion Live, the podcast. And this week, episode 115.
First time ever.
First time ever of episode. It's the first time ever we hit episode 115.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Crushing.
So we're doing the
That is not a Zach fact.
That's not a Zach fact. But we're doing the hunt for Red October. And for all you viewers out there, you'll be able to watch me now play this game on an emulator with this controller.
But Zach, we already watched Hunt for Red October for Submersion.
You're right. And how could I play a movie? There must be some sort of a game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen and germs. It's Hunt for Red October, the game for the, NES, SNES, or even the Game Boy. We'll talk about all three versions, and I'm going to be playing the NES version.
The original version.
You got to throw back to the original episode we did where you just kept hammering home that you had this game
my
for
God.
the Nintendo Entertainment System.
How many times did you say Nintendo Entertainment System in that episode? Was it like a million times?
Like 12.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you.
You don't
Yeah,
remember
You're saying I had the Hunt for Red October for the Nintendo Entertainment System?
Yes.
The Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah,
Yes.
didn't your dad buy you that Nintendo Entertainment System?
That's the story.
It was either he bought it for me or it was given to me from my uncle. Actually, I can't remember. I actually really think my NES.
Your dad was involved.
Yes, I used to play games with my dad. Him and I played the Hunt for Red October together. I think we got through the second level, so we're going to see if I can beat that tonight, 29 years later.
Dude, I have like zero confidence that you will beat it tonight, man.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
If it's anything like the Super Nintendo version, which I was playing, whatever, we'll get into that later, but my confidence level's real low that you'll get past level 2.
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm going to start playing, but I'm here.
He's here.
Again, that's the Hunt for Red October for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Sorry, I missed it. Did you link your Twitch channel, Kyle? Did you plug it?
Well, don't worry, man. We're going to set up our own Twitch channel. Don't worry about my own personal Twitch channel. We'll have a Mac.
I started.
Twitch. All right.
Okay.
Zach is in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
This is a perfect time right now to remind everyone, if you have not yet had the opportunity, we still do have the giveaway going. You can enter on Twitter to win the Hunt for Red October 4K Blu-ray Digital Special Edition Steelbook for free. Super easy stuff to do. You got to like the page, retweet us, tag 2 of your buddies who you want to watch this movie with. And if you love Sean Connery so much, I should have also mentioned we are doing this because Sean is turning 90 August 25th. We are also giving away a Funko Pop of Sean as James Bond from Dr. No. So that is on Instagram. Mackie Studios on there. Get over there. See what you got to do for that. And you can win that also.
All right. Is it time? Can I air my grievances, or are we still doing other stuff? Because I don't know if you noticed, like last episode was basically the first time I'd never been on, other than Phantom Menace, I guess, right?
Yep. I think I mentioned it the second time.
And you guys, so I basically, how many points should I have? How many grievances should I go through? One, I woke up in beautiful Wisconsin. We got there, no Wi-Fi to be seen. We were living in the 80s. We were basically, we'd have arguments about points and facts, and we wouldn't have anything to check it. And we just have to be like, yeah, probably correct. And later we'd be like, yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
You'll have to go
Can't
back.
check it.
You'll have to go down to the library later to check and see who's right.
Yeah. Then one day the lights went off, and we went back even further in time, and we had candles going. We were cooking by fire. I reheated some nachos over a grill, and we were like, "This is amazing." Then I wake up on Thursday, and I start running, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to pop on my favorite podcast, Submersion," and lo and behold, I'm being shoved into a torpedo tube and shot into the sea for what seems to be no reason. And that's one. Two, you totally did a mini-sode without doing the correct mini-sode scoring system. And it was super long. Not only did I have to suffer through it for one run, but then a second run. I had to, for both runs now, I had to listen to the podcast because it was an 150 or an hour and 50 minutes. And Waterworld's good. It's a good movie.
I agree, man. Waterworld is good. It is legit.
It's a good movie. And I'll say I would give it a thumbs up. The correct scoring system for a mini-sode.
Just got my first game over.
Dude.
There we go.
Now I saw you died there and you got to redo the level there. All right, he's in the zone. He's not talking.
What do you mean redo the level?
You got to start back at the beginning of that level, right?
Yeah, it's level 1 though.
Yeah,
this is
we'll talk
I haven't
about,
beat the first level yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about the differences then. All right, here we go.
Do you have any other grievances, Jamie?
I mean, I guess a lot, just in general, but overall, I'm glad. Like, I feel like this is a pretty good one since this is kind of a rebirth on the Twitch era, as they will call it in the future. That we are rebirthing the podcast, and I'm back on it, so I'm happy about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, usually when you give criticism to somebody, it's also nice to give some positive, constructive feedback. Did you like anything from the episode?
You just should have been like, no. I mean, come on, Jamie. It's that simple, right?
No. I think I enjoyed the sandwich tasting section. I thought it was fun. I would have liked to eat some sandwiches.
I think our guest host Nick did an admirable job of filling the shoes of Jamie. Thought he was very topical. And
yeah, I will say this: Nick did not hide his distaste for the movie, and that
he did not. Yeah, he was not.
He wasn't
shy.
He was wearing his heart on his sleeve the whole time. I mean, which is fine. That is what it is. Anyways, this is totally off topic, but have you guys seen these things online where you can cut your beer tops off?
You're still talking about this?
Have you guys seen these? Dude, check this out. You're on the live stream.
This is the third time I've had this conversation with you.
You're on the live stream, man. I can cut the top off this beer. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Beer. Look at this. Look at this. I cut the top right off.
All right, let's get into something.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like
with soda too.
Someone's got to have a second alarm now. Someone else on the trigger.
Dive!
Wait, was it going?
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to hear anything.
Shoot.
Man, I'm doing awful.
All right.
We're doing awful as a team right now.
Technology, maybe not technological wizards. We're just technological apprentices.
It's,
all right.
Not all technology is progress. Let's just say that.
So, are we ready to talk about Hunt for Red October, though?
So, did we say what year this game came out?
Alrighty, we are covering the Hunt for Red October. Who's excited? Man. Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Can you even hear us?
We are doing this, yes, for the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Did anybody play the Game Boy version?
I did not.
We're not doing the Game Boy version, but it can't be.
If you look at pictures of it, it's just green.
It looks amazing. It is. I was even looking at it. It's on eBay for like $5. Like maybe, but it's $5, right?
Right.
I already spent enough on this beer top cutter offer thing, so I don't know if I can get
God.
I know, right? I don't think I can get a game right now, too. Anyways, who's got some info on? Jamie, you got some info on this game?
Well, I mean, I think we have some basic information. Like the original game came out in January 1991, and that was notably before the Soviet Union had fallen. Game Boy came out later in 1991. Still, Soviet Union not fallen. the Super Nintendo came out in 1993, I believe, and Soviet Union dissolved. And so I do think that a lot of the differences you'll hear about tonight between the two versions of the game may stem from that. And actually, that was something I believe happened with the movie as well, where I got to look that up. But because of when the movie came out, they were not sure of how to deal with it because the book had come out and the Cold War was, in full swing. 1990, the movie comes out, and there were already starting to be some questions of, should we do something about this? Cold War, looking a little lukewarm, that kind of stuff. Not so cold or hot, really. And I remember there being some trivia about them potentially trying to maybe change the plot for that one, but eventually decided not to. Here, clearly, the first games came out. They kept it pretty in line with the book, and then the Super Nintendo came out, and you'll see, it went off the rails. At that point,
in an amazing way, good sir.
Oh, it's crazy.
It is.
I have two pages of notes, just questions on questions about what the plot of the Super Nintendo game could possibly be.
Because I wondered that also. All right.
So, Kyle, you kind of mentioned nobody played the Game Boy. What did everybody dabble in? I played the Nintendo version.
I watched both. I watched playthroughs of both.
I played the Super Nintendo version, and
just the Nintendo for me.
I took this a step further, and I've got one of those Super Nintendo classics because I'm rich, obviously. And I went ahead and added that to my console, so I was playing it on that console with the controllers and all that good stuff.
Alex, what did you get into?
I just watched the Super Nintendo version playthrough, and I think it was like any percentage speed run or whatever. I'm working with a toaster of a computer, so I couldn't get any emulator going for it.
A toaster and a computer. Well, somebody get that guy something.
Again, please donate to our Patreon so we can get Alex a nicer computer.
Yeah, he's currently running on a toaster with an antenna.
No, but if the computer could still double as a toaster, it would be ideal. It just has to be a better computer.
I agree. You get an add-on like that, maybe USB, something like that. I don't know.
My computer is not a toaster, and I'm disappointed every day in it.
I know.
It's just a computer.
Sit down in the morning and think, oh, hey, wouldn't this be nice if I could just
right? And then I look over in kitchen, and it's like, well, my toast is now 10 feet away instead of right here.
And then you go hungry.
Huh.
Anyways, let's get into this before I get so excited about cutting off more tops of beers and you guys get upset.
So what should we do first? Should we go through the plot of the Nintendo version and kind of go through because the plot itself of the game is more or less the plot of the movie.
Let's go through the first game, and then everybody who's watching can see Zach play this game right now.
Yeah.
And he is really doing this game. You still on level 1 right now?
Yep.
Shut up.
What did I say? All right, we got to finish this podcast before he can beat level 2 because I don't think he's going to do it.
Anyways, so the Nintendo version opens up, same as actually the Super Nintendo. It's kind of the beginning of the movie. It's kind of the end of the movie. It's saying in 1984, Cold War in full swing. There was a Typhoon-class submarine that defected to the United States. That sunk in the Atlantic Ocean. All hands, kind of nuclear disaster. But what actually happened is that they defected to the United States, but we're not supposed to know that it ever happened or something along those lines, that these events actually never occurred. And we're like, whoa, crazy. And it opens up, and the first mission is basically escape from the naval base by the Red October. And I don't know, Bram, you played the Nintendo version.
I did.
What's the gameplay kind of like in the Nintendo one?
I've heard these described as like cave games, as kind of the format, side-scrolling left to right, where you kind of have to navigate through obstacles. And there are 5 levels with what I guess would be considered a bonus level to Super Nintendo players.
Nintendo players.
No, to the Super Nintendo members of our group, they were saying that they called the 6th level a bonus level, but it really was like the longest part of the game, so it wasn't really a bonus level. It was the
main
game,
part of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it really changed tone though, because you pilot through the first 5 levels in your submarine.
Do you have multiple missiles in the Nintendo, or just one?
Which is important. I wanted to chime in. I was about to text Zach. He's forgetting to use his vertical rockets that shoot out of the top of his sub when people are going overhead of him. But you've got some forward-facing rockets, some rockets that launch out the top. You pilot your sub through these narrow passageways. The first level is the dockyard. You got some vehicles that drop some depth charges on you, and there's several subs that you got to battle against, as we're watching right now. Some strange pistons. I don't know how many dockyards have these hazardous.
Yeah, they kind of close. They kind of open and close. It looked like, right?
It's like they're trying to kill you.
Regardless, again, cave style game, navigating your sub through until the 6th level, which you then pilot Sean Connery himself.
You play as Sean Connery, different than the Super Nintendo.
Dressed in a 3-piece suit, which I guess, is that how Hunt for Red October ended? He was all dressed up, and
I mean, I guess he's just like a captain. Yeah, he's in kind of a suit. Yeah.
Oh no! Speed this up. He beat the first level.
Zach beat the first level.
Level 1's done.
We'll see if he can get through the 2nd level without losing his remaining lives. But the 6th level, you play Sean Connery. It is a platformer at that point, like a run and gun style. You shoot bad boys, and you disarm the bombs that they drop. You have to navigate through the sub. It's actually possibly like the longest part of the game. It's almost half the game, just navigating through that level. Didn't get very good reviews on that. I think Zach will probably enlighten us with that a little bit later. But
I do think, from what I saw, I feel like the Nintendo may have gotten slightly better reviews than the Super Nintendo. It seemed to be that the reviews prior to 1993 were slightly better than the ones that came after. But it's hard to tell whether those ones that came after were still retrospective reviews of the Nintendo game, or actually just reviews of the Super Nintendo. But overall, I think the game got kind of dire reviews, regardless of version.
Well, dude, I'm watching Zach stream right now, and this is wildly different than what I experienced.
Yeah, wildly
like
different.
We have
anyways,
Russian diplomats speaking and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Not the game I played.
Yeah, so it's very similar in that case. In that way, it's very similar to the book/movie, which is essentially you escape from the dockyard, and then you get an interlude. Every time you get an interlude where ambassadors are talking to each other, and at first it's like, yo, Russian ambassador, a lot of mobilization going on over in Russia. We're a little concerned. And the Russian diplomat's like, naval exercises. And he's always like touching his brow as if he's sweating. No big deal. Don't worry. And Americans like, okay. And then we have the next level is the Red October in the Arctic or whatever. And it's like, oh, they're going to the Arctic. And it finds like a crazy underwater Russian base and destroys that. Then you get another interlude, and they're like, "Oh, actually, we have someone sinking. Where it's like a rescue operation." And the Americans are like, "Well, we could help you." And the Russians are like, "No, we got it." And then it says next tracking with October heading to the trench, which was part of the movie and stuff like that. And then you get a scene with the trench or whatever. And in the trench, I think, what do they find? Oh, they find a battleship. They keep on finding battleships in a bunch of these ones. And destroy a battleship. And the next one's like, the Russian diplomat's like, actually, we have a rogue, insane general. You have to help us destroy it. And the Americans are like, oh, well, we'll do that. And so the next one, you're in the crystal zone. And it's like a crystal cave thing. And you destroy an underwater base. Yeah, like an underwater base. No, I think you're in the Arctic one right now.
Yeah, actually, you're in level 2, man.
Yeah, there is a crystal zone. This is not it.
It's level 4, I think. And they find an underwater base at the end of that one, which I was like, not in Hunt for Red October. I didn't remember a underwater base in the crystal zone. I actually don't remember a crystal zone at all, but fine. And then eventually they're heading to the tropics, and the Americans are like, we'll help you destroy them, and blah, blah, blah. And they head down there, and they destroy another ship, and eventually... it ends the game. Oh yeah, then it's like, oh, saboteurs have arrived and they've spread bombs all over it, and that's when you get to the Sean Connery point of it. And once you finish, it's like the American diplomats like, good, now that we have the Red October in hand, like we're in good shape or whatever. That's like the end of it. So it doesn't deviate super far from the book or the movie. It just had some crazy things like multiple underwater bases and crystal zones and Arctic ice stuff and all these things to make it more of a game. And then of course Sean Connery dressed as James Bond running around a ship defusing bombs, which is a little excessive. So anyways, that's the Nintendo version of it.
Great. I mean, come on.
I don't think that's mutually exclusive.
Honestly, not too different than the Waterworld Super Nintendo game movie we watched last week.
They've got a game?
Yep, Waterworld Super Nintendo. Very similar. There's
Do you see a submarine at the bottom of that one?
They made fun of it on the Simpsons episode. I talked about that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I thought it was the arcade game or something.
Well, that's what it was in the Simpsons episode, but it's still making fun of the game.
Oh my gosh, dude. We gotta.
You pilot the trimaran or whatever it's called for a large chunk of the game. There's also sort of the side-scrolling action where you play as Kevin Costner, though, too.
That's amazing.
All right, so should we get into the Super Nintendo version of it, which is wildly different?
Oh my god. So, first off, Super Nintendo version, absolutely incredible. We get use of all the buttons on the Super Nintendo controller, right?
Because of the different missiles.
Yeah, we have all kinds of different missiles you can fire. Literally the first level, I think, is really the only thing that even is remotely close to the storyline.
Right. It's basically like, oh, you're trying to escape from Russia. And I'm like, oh, I recognize this.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And
it's
that
basically
is,
as we saw, yeah.
That is it right there.
Yeah.
That is where the similarities between Hunt for Red October, the movie, Hunt for Red October, Super Nintendo version, begin and end. This game, you can't even look at it as like Hunt for Red October. You have to look at this as an extension of the storyline. Like what happens
Crazy
after,
extension.
What happens after they defect
so
to the U.S.
Second level, well, no, not even after they defect. Like,
well, I mean, these world vigilantes, man, they're doing whatever, right?
Exactly. They're like Rambo. Like the U.S. is exploiting them because they're like, you're expendable because you are defectors from your country. We can send you into these missions and we can deny all plausible deniability that you even exist. And the Red October is like, great, because the second level starts and they're like, mission, there's an illegal arms dealer operating on a base in Caribbean, destroy that base and all the military supplies. And it's like, why? Hold on a second, why is this the job of a rogue Russian submarine? We're trying to defect to the United States. Like, it seems like they're just like twisting their arm, like, well, you can't defect to the United States unless you destroy this Caribbean drug lord or something. And it's like, what?
Jamie, it makes sense, dude. War on drugs, man, come on.
And then the other thing that happens in the second level is they have an arcade interlude where you are shooting kind of helicopters and airplanes and shit and boats. But you're supposed to use like the gun attachment, kind of like the Nintendo Zapper that they had.
It's called the Super Scope.
Right. And apparently, I mean, and I'll have it in the trivia, but apparently there were super few games that actually did this because it was like not even popular. It was like
all of 7 games. We had it for a game called Yoshi Safari. And I played that. It was slick, but like I think that's the only game we had that would use that gun.
Yeah, but it does seem incredibly hard if you don't have that, because the playthrough that I watched, they clearly didn't have the gun.
Yeah,
and it took forever to move the thing.
You can't move you cannot move that cursor. Like I had to try to figure out a way. I would just have to shoot a wall down of these bullets, and you can only shoot 3 at a time, and just pray that I would hit. Sometimes I'd even skip the bonus level because I was going to take more damage in the bonus level than I would get back.
So anyways, now that we're worldwide vigilantes who are destroying arms dealers in the Caribbean for no reason, the third level really goes off the chain because we now are escorting a passenger ship full of quote unquote VIPs to their destination, defending them from aggressors. That's just we're given authority, quote authority, to destroy all aggressors. Okay. Who are the VIPs? Why do they need a escort from a rogue submarine? Why are there even aggressors?
Yeah, I mean,
Welcome.
who are these people, man? These VIPs, like you say. I mean, they are literally sending whoever
Hundreds.
they are, whoever
Hundreds
in
of
God's
submarines.
name is attacking these people. Yeah, hundreds of submarines, bombers, everything. I even had a time in the level where I was just focusing on the submarines, and I was like, okay, I should be able to get through this. And the aggressors can actually destroy the cruise ship.
Yeah. And I had the impression that this was a Cold War. This war seems incredibly hot right now.
Oh yeah, it's on fire, my friend.
Yeah, and you are given. Who even gave it the authority to mow down anyone in our path? We're a defecting submarine.
It's
we are
amazing.
vigilantes. We're criminals. It's like who? The UN? I mean, if we look at the movies that we watch, it would be the UN. That'd be like, yeah, that submarine can do whatever it wants. But yeah, no, this is where, and the third level is where I came to the conclusion we're in a Rambo situation. The United States, we came, like the submarine came, we're defecting, and the United States is like, not interested. And the submarine is like, wait, but we're like a super cool Caterpillar submarine. Like we got Caterpillar drive and everything. And the US was like, well, maybe if you take out this arms dealer. And we're like, okay. It's like, maybe if you escort this passenger ship full of VIPs. And of course, in our mind, we're like, VIPs? Oh, fine. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we're just the expendables and we're heading off to Afghanistan like Rambo to rescue some captured, army general or something.
Yeah, it was
That's
nuts.
Rambo 3. Yeah. So, anyways,
You say I don't
Fourth
remember
level.
a whole submarine level in Afghanistan. I don't know how well that would work, but
well, no, that's Rambo, but Rambo did not own a submarine. Fortunately for when he went to Afghanistan, it wouldn't have been very useful.
yeah, but unfortunate for us because that'd be great to cover Rambo.
No, it'd be amazing if one of the Rambos had a submarine in it. So fourth level. Now I said in the second level I was like, this is weird. Third level I was like, this is off the chain. Fourth level, okay, terrorist nuclear plant. Those are the 3 words I'll give you. How do the terrorists even have? First of all, nuclear plant is for energy. It's not a weapon. It's a nuclear plant.
But they've got.
Are they talking about it? Are they talking about a nuclear enrichment facility? Because that's what I'd go after. I wouldn't go after where they took the enriched uranium
Jamie,
to power a power plant.
You can't look at the descriptions on these levels, which just scroll across very slowly. And I mean, we're talking very broken English onto what the description and what the heck we're looking at.
How do these terrorists have the means to build this in the Arctic, where there's no means of getting anything there? I mean, what are they? They have all the trade routes possible to get stuff into the Arctic. And second, how would they even have the funding to enrich uranium in the first place?
Well, I mean, all you got to look at when you're going around selecting the missions on the map, it's over in Russia, right? I mean, there's uranium all just laying around all over the place.
Okay,
Anybody could do it.
Fine. So, anyways, why are we the ones called into duty? No one knows. I guess it's a potential disruptor to the world order, and the Red October is interested in that. Obviously, I mean, it wants to defect the United States. If the world order was upended and the United States was on the bottom, it can no longer defect the United States. So I guess this is their problem. They're like, okay, we got to get rid of these terrorists who now have a nuclear plant, aka a uranium enrichment facility. And so they go in and do that. And these terrorists, they have underwater turrets. They got all kinds. Like they got 1,000 submarines. Who is funding the terrorists?
Yeah,
that's the question I have.
it's got to be like Bill Gates and
Probably.
who else? Who are the mega rich?
Elon, dude.
Elon Musk.
Jeff Bezos.
Elon, Jeff Bezos, Mark
Warren
Zuckerberg.
Buffett.
Yeah, Warren Buffett. All these guys are funding these. They're like, stop them. We
First of
have
all,
the uranium.
It's 1984.
facility.
It's 1984.
Yeah, dude. You
So
ever
we're
heard of
talking
time
Ted Turner.
travel? Ted
I'm
Turner.
thinking Ted Turner. Yeah.
Could have been.
Yo,
TBS. All right.
Very well could have been. Right now, just want to give a shout out to OG1994 cheering Zach on the stream. Come
We
on,
got some
Zach.
viewers?
He says, or she, he or she
Or
says,
they.
come on, Zach, you can do it. We believe in you. So
Wait, his
Dude.
name's Og?
quit sucking it up right now and start
Zach,
winning
didn't you have a
this game.
follower named Ogbird?
I cannot recall. Oh, this freaking thing.
Oh, he's about to get crushed. All right, anyways.
All right. Well,
On to
it's good 'cause
mission.
we got someone else, supporting Zach, so I can say I do not believe in you. Zach.
I thank you, viewers. Don't thank anybody on the stream.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
the podcast. I can't do 2 things at once. Let me get back to the game, guys.
so fifth level saboteurs, right? because we have to defend some oil rigs in the Bering Strait from saboteurs.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I'm not even going to ask the question.
And this
I'm
is
tired
where
of asking the question.
you're defending American
Why us?
assets right now.
It's true, and I'm tired of asking why us. Also I'm tired of asking how do the saboteurs have 1,000 submarines at their disposal. Also, what kind are we? Some kind of advanced vigilante submarine? That's what it's now. It's like, okay, we're out of Rambo situation. Now we're just pirates cruising the seas for whatever job someone brings, mercenaries, if you will. And the only good thing I saw about all these missions was that they weren't how to say this? They weren't overtly racist about the terrorists and stuff like that. They were basically like terrorists in Arctic. I was like, yeah, could be anyone. Who's to know? Really, whatever. I mean, mostly I think the enemies are supposed to be Russia, but the Soviet Union had fallen, so they kind of rewrote it to just be like anonymous bad guys, some arms dealer in the Caribbean, terrorists in the Arctic, saboteurs in the Bering Strait, that kind of stuff. But then the other weird thing was these saboteurs had gun turrets on the bottom of the ocean, research submersibles coming down after you, submarines everywhere. It almost they were set up almost like they were defending the oil rig stuff. And so then I was wondering whether we were the bad guys.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. At this point, I I never made it past level 4.
Well, then what's weird is that do you know what the final bad guy boss for this saboteur portion of it is?
No.
It's a giant squid. That's the saboteur. It's a
Wait,
giant squid.
It's a
giant squid. Yeah, it's an animal. It probably just wanted to live. It probably just wanted to be. And yet here we were, some vigilante pirate submarine, and we totally crush it. And then afterwards, I was like, did I even see any saboteurs? All I saw was a squid.
Well, I mean, hey man, we've seen a lot of sub movies, dude. Squid can screw stuff up for you.
Luckily, we only have several more levels left. So the 6th level, enemy bioweapons lab is located. We have to destroy it. And now they've explicitly used the word enemy in our mission. Okay, we have an enemy.
Oh, here we go. Finally, we've got one.
Okay, and as we look at it, I'm like, it must be Russia. So it's for sure we have defected from Russia, and apparently they are the enemy. So we must be working with the U.S. Except they're just not letting us defect. They're forcing us to go around do these like extraneous missions for them.
Gotta go down.
Anyways,
this is the boss.
Yeah, they say the underwater facility, this underwater base, is against the treaty. That's what they say in the mission. And so we gotta destroy it. And it's like, okay, yeah, that underwater base located in Siberia against the treaty, cool. And so we gotta do that. And so we do that. 7th level.
Guys, we're in jeopardy here. Looks like Zach might actually beat this.
Oh,
good.
Wait,
we're getting close.
He's just on level 2 though, right?
He said he was going to beat level 2. That's all he needed to do.
Oh, no.
Did it.
Did it.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
That's clear. That's for the viewers who believed in me, not you jerks.
Well, we're getting close because 7th level, a high-tech ship is being hijacked by mercenaries. And my only question here is, aren't we the mercenaries?
We are the mercenaries, 100%.
Mercenary on mercenary violence right now. It's like crazy. And so, everything was kind of lame in this one. The ship was even kind of lame. This was, there's a bunch of levels that are reused from the NES game, and then they added other levels. This was one of them that was reused because the ship is hijacked in the Mediterranean, and I think that lines up with the maybe the level in the second to last level in the NES game, I think. But anyways,
Zach, you are getting cheered on right now. Angel says, Zach, shut them up. So
yes,
you keep this going, dude.
Angel, see,
that's a bot.
Yeah,
it's a bot. That's what I'm saying.
This is a very interactive bot. I do not think
AI systems.
OG94 is a bot.
No, I don't believe that. I believe OG94 is a person. That other one's a bot, though.
Well, they're one and the same. Actually, they said he got me. So
I got
we'll have to set up captchas on this, I guess.
I got to the 3rd level. So. I beat
click all the Zacks in the.
You got to the 3rd level and then died immediately. All right, let's see what.
Still better than you.
All right.
Hey, whatever.
So we're in the 2nd to last level, 8th level. There are some land guns that pose a threat to our fleet. And so now we have a fleet. Now I guess we're incorporated into the U.S.
Sub-fleet,
Army,
man.
I guess, maybe. And so instead of being internationally feared vigilantes and pirates, we are now have a fleet. Now that fleet could be filled with villains that have flocked to our, call, our flag. So now we have a vigilante fleet that goes after it, but whatever. Which turned the world into a smoking wasteland and such. But anyways, this one had probably the best bad guy at the end. It was one where this gun was really huge and it was above the land and it was really far up and your normal guns couldn't hit it. And you had to move your ship up really fast and crash the surface and then shoot. And then your bomb would be able to get to the gun. And you had to do this multiple times and shoot it. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. Whoever designed that level, because I know each level is probably designed by a different, small team or whatever. Whoever designed that level did a good job. They kind of did a good job with the ending. Some of the end bosses were real lame, where you could just kind of find a spot and you shoot them a million times, and no one could get you, and you just destroy them in like a second. So it was no big deal.
Really?
Yeah. Finally, final level. There's a coup afoot in the USSR. This is what we've been waiting for, and so we are providing support. And I did find this a little hilarious, just that in the end, we are feared vigilante pirate submarine of the seas, and there's a coup in the USSR, which is what we want, and we provide support. That's it.
For the coup or for the USSR?
No, no, for the coup. But we aren't the main player. We are providing support. We are supporting players.
Gotcha.
We are not the main people. That's the final level of this game is provide support.
I like it.
While something more interesting happens that you're not involved with.
So are there other subs attacking then at this time also?
No, I think the idea is that we're providing support from the sea, and the
we're
actual
sea support.
coup's a land operation
Gotcha.
that we never see.
Well, at least we're part of a team then, right?
Yeah. So anyways, final level. That final level honestly seemed like it kind of sucked. It ended with the arcade portion of it where you're supposed to use that gun, and those was really weird. The planes would come and they'd fly at you, but only if they shot a missile would you take any damage. So you could miss all of them, and eventually the level would end. And in this case, all you had to do is just keep on shooting the one ship, and it seemed like you didn't have to do anything with any of the other things flying around. As long as you just kept on hitting that and you had enough energy when you went into that level, that portion of it, you would eventually just kill it without doing anything else.
Really?
That's what the person in the stream that I was watching, they didn't do anything, and the ship so rarely shot at them that they barely took any damage. So
now,
they just sat there shooting over and over
though,
again.
Right? Somebody's doing this game in 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, they did it in 40 minutes.
Okay.
I don't think it wasn't a pure speed run, but it was a complete playthrough without any.
The world record speed run time for the NES version is 19 minutes and 22 seconds. It was set 8 months ago.
Impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Wait,
I can believe that
Did
too.
you say NES or SNES?
That was the NES.
NES.
All right. I was gonna say, man, I played the Super Nintendo one it was 2.5 hours. I couldn't get past the fourth level. Man.
It's a lot more. There is a lot more levels in the Super Nintendo. One of them. And there's no saves, right? That's what you said.
No saves, none at all. And when you
don't
die,
even get a code.
No, so when you die, you're going right back to the beginning, and I'll tell you, your damage carries over from level to level, and the only way to get damage back is to go through these little bubble things or to do the bonus round. But during the bonus round, you can also take damage. So that's kind of, generally you get more back than you're going to take, but, it just carries over. So you could start level 2 with 80% damage, and then that's all you got. I think you take 6% damage on most hits, so you've only got a few hits you can really take until it's game over. You got to start back at square one.
Hmm.
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got for the overall. So do you guys want to do ratings? Oh no, do we do love it or hate it first? No, ratings first.
Yeah, let's do some ratings here. Let's do some ratings.
Ratings. Oh geez.
Yeah. All right.
I think I'm the least qualified to do this. So if you want me to go first, I can do that because I just watched the games.
Go for it, man. Well, based on what you saw, you let us know.
And we're
what you
doing it
think
at
about
6
this.
because this is a submersible bond because it's not a movie.
It's a game on episode, but we can do it out of 6, whatever.
Yeah, we got a 6.
Do it out of 10. It's a game.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So the NES version I thought was considerably better than the SNES version from what I saw, and so I think I would give that one like a 5 out of 10. I don't think to me it didn't seem like it was anything that I would have been particularly interested in playing. It seemed kind of hard and confusing at times, but fine enough for the type of game that it was. And maybe I'm biased because I don't really like this type of games. The SNES version, on the other hand, seemed like it was complete insanity, but also garbage. And so that one I'd probably give maybe a 1.5 out of 10.
Wow.
No, 2. I'll give it 2. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming
No,
in
I just
low.
that was one where like I even as I was watching the person play it on YouTube at 2x speed, I was like, wait, what? Like, what is this game? Like, why is any having? Why are there so many levels? Why do the levels don't make any sense? Why this arcade stuff with the design for the gun is awful? And especially if you don't have that gun, which who does? Because only like 12 people bought it in the first place.
I know. I wish
Final
I
level
still
was
had
terrible.
all that stuff, man. I'd be.
Final level was terrible.
gun.
Only a couple of the end bad guys were good. Like I actually thought the squid was pretty good. I thought that gun was pretty good. And it's funny because those were the bad guys that were kind of added for the Super Nintendo, which I think is kind of indicative. Like they reused some bad guys that just no longer made sense for how they changed the gameplay for the Super Nintendo. And so then it made it where some of these ones, they literally would go into it, like the run I was seeing, they'd go to a particular spot and just keep on shooting, and no one could hit them because the way the game was designed at that point, no one would come over and shoot at them or anything like that. So they just sit there and shoot them over and over and over again and destroy the boss in like 5 seconds without anyone stopping them or trying to stop them, really. Which I don't think, it just because they were reusing something, it didn't work. So it seemed like a particularly bad game, and I couldn't tell why they made the type of changes they did. Why when they went to the Super Nintendo, instead of just adding levels and adding that arcade portion of it, they completely changed the storyline away from Hunt for Red October to make it kind of this laughably ridiculous thing. And if it was just because the Soviet Union fell, I mean, I guess I can understand that, but it's set in 1984, so why do you give a shit?
That's a good question.
It's set during the Cold War. So that's my scores, and I'm sticking to it.
Wow. All right. Hot take. Mr. Zoom In Brom, do you want to go? I can just see your eyes.
Sure. Unless, Zach, are you pissed about what's taking place in the game or about me giving my review next?
The game.
Okay.
But I'll also be upset with you, I'm sure.
Oh, shit. So I'm not going to give it a very high score. I'm kind of thinking about it in 2 ways. One, would I have enjoyed this when I played Nintendo as a kid, when I had a Nintendo, or would this be one that would gather dust? And then 2, is it one of those like Desert Island games? Is this one of those games that I would take with me to play it repeatedly over and over again? And there's not many, obviously, back on your older consoles, your Nintendos and your Super Nintendos. There's a few out there, though. A few that come to mind are like
F-Zero.
Tecmo Super Bowl. F-Zero is a good game. I don't know if I'd bring it with me, but Tecmo Super Bowl.
Oh, I could play
there's
that
a lot
all
with like the season modes and stuff like that. I feel like there's a lot of replayability there. Aerobiz Supersonic is a really sweet game. I played that as recently as a couple months ago. It's like an airport airliner tycoon game. It's way ahead of its time. This game, though, very shallow. Again, I played the Nintendo version. Definitely not my style of game. Don't feel cool while playing it. Like some of the games, like as a kid, like if you look back, even like at documentaries of like video games and the origins of video games, like people wanted to play games and be someone that they aren't. You know, like they wanted to emulate. You know, like I did a game I did like was like Shinobi.
Those are
where you're
great games.
a ninja. Yeah, like you feel badass at least while you're playing, even if you suck at it. But like
Yeah,
this
man,
one,
like,
just
throwing star, boom.
yeah, exactly. This one though, you just feel dumb and while sucking at it, which is where I was at with it. I told you guys I beat it. I beat the first level. It took me like 45 minutes, but I finally beat the first level, and I'm like, I can't do anymore. I'm gonna give it give it a 4.
A 4. And that is for the NES version, correct?
4 out of 10 on the NES. Yeah.
All right.
I beat level 2 again, Kyle.
Did you?
Nice, good job.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
I've been challenged by a listener.
Yes, you
I
have
don't know.
been.
Who is this? AGHM. They said, where am I going to plug it if I'm on a desert island? It's a very good question.
You just got outsmarted.
No, the terrorist nuclear power
I've been
plant.
outwitted by a listener.
No. That terrorist organization was able to make a power plant in the Arctic. You're able to make a power plant. I believe in you. I don't believe in Zach, but I believe in you.
Okay.
That you could make a power plant on that desert island.
Or maybe solar panels or something. I don't know. Something.
You bring solar panels. You know enough about photovoltaic cells on a desert island to make something happen.
Never even heard that term, so no.
All right, Alex, you got a review for this one?
Well, I didn't play it like I said at the beginning. I just kind of watched an SNES playthrough. The first one I started watching, I couldn't handle it. I wanted to barf all over the place just due to the graphics. And it would have been that lightweight stuff either. It would have been chunky, that industrial weight puke. And that's something you don't want to have to deal with. But once I started watching someone who's a lot better, even better than Zach, play
Not hard to do, right?
Made the game look so smooth, tons of practice. I was really impressed. You know, I could see where a lot of other games got, they were kind of like a muse for this game, kind of like Flappy Bird, how you got to go through different obstacles, opening and closing, and move through this stuff. I love it. This is probably the most realistic sub game I think I've ever watched or ever played, and I don't think it'll ever be topped ever again. The ability to move as quickly as that sub does and maneuver through these tight turns and curves is amazing. Every submarine ever made is just like that. I love it. It's awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of enemies that was thrown at you is awesome. If you were to line up all those enemies, a man could literally walk from Greenland to Iceland to Scotland without even getting his feet wet. It's that amazing at how many enemies are thrown. So the best part I think about it is at the end during the credits when they start playing Beethoven's, number 9, Ode to Joy. Amazing.
Yeah.
I would have liked to hear the Star Spangled Banner. Probably would have been a little bit better. But Ode to Joy, whatever. That works fine.
Yeah, weird choice. Ode to Joy.
Yeah, I think more games should probably use music like that. Probably help with sales, to be honest with you. So when it comes to rating, I got to give this game 12 out of 10. It was that good. I enjoyed it that much just watching it. I would watch it again every day. I hope more people start streaming this so I can watch everybody else. Maybe one day, once I get a better computer, I might be able to play this one as well. Or if I can find my old SNES, that thing's probably better than what I'm currently rocking, so it'd probably be pretty cool.
You got to have a rough... You really must be running out of a toaster, man, if you can't handle something like this. I don't even think you need a graphics card for a game like this.
Well,
You do, actually.
I stand corrected. You do need a graphics card.
You probably
I tried running all my
video.
emulators. I tried running all my emulators on a microcomputer a couple months back when I was talking about Aerobiz and all that. Didn't work at all.
No?
Yeah, I was shocked. Like I figured like a micro PC would handle all that shit fine, but apparently you need something. I was missing something. There's a bottleneck somewhere. Maybe some of those photovoltaic panels you were talking about.
Yeah, man, that's what you need. Zach, you're paused right now. Why you? What's going on here, man?
Because isn't it my turn?
Okay, it's your turn. Go for it.
Okay. I got to level 3, so that's pretty exciting. You know,
prove me wrong. All right, I'll say that.
You did.
You did.
I did. You're a bitch.
Well, Yeah, I mean, I didn't think you'd do it.
No, so my turn, my review, my turn.
Office reference.
Thank you.
We need a soundboard every time we do an office reference on here.
That's what she said. That could be it.
That's what she said.
I mean, let's think about this. It's 2020, and we're sitting here, 5 white men, comparing a 1991 game to today.
Yeah.
If this game was released today, would we love it? The answer is no.
Whoa. Let's...
5 white men and a bot, as you've been corrected.
But I'm torn. Obviously, I'm going to be real biased because I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I grew up playing The Hunt for Red October on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and I have some really fond memories of playing that with my dad. And I remember the box art. I remember that sweet, beautiful looking Sean Connery face with that red glow, and I'm like, man, this is the game. Like, Ben, you talked about it. You're like, sometimes you want to play the game, you want to be like the guy. I wanted to be the guy. I want to be the guy. They should make a game called that.
You didn't get to be the guy though, because you actually in this game, the last level is you getting to be the guy.
I know,
and you never got there.
I know, but I was,
and that's what makes it so great, right? Because he's been chasing this his whole life, man. He wants to be the guy.
Yeah, there was no password system or cheat codes either. So really, if you want to have that experience, it's probably a pain in the ass, right?
Wait, there was no Game Genie? Oh no, wait a second. That was for the Super Nintendo, right?
There's a Nintendo Game Genie. I don't know.
Okay.
But basically, it's pretty complicated if you do want to be Sean Connery. Like, you got to be good at this game.
I was not, and I'm still not, but I'm getting better. Anyways,
someday.
You said this is out of 10 still, right?
Oh yeah.
And then we got a 12. What's the lowest? What's the lowest we got?
Jamie gave it a 2.
That's embarrassing.
No, I gave this one a 5. I gave the Nintendo one a 5.
Oh, there we go.
I gave the Super Nintendo a 2.
I'm gonna give this the biased Zach vote because of the memories, and it's a sub game. We're talking constant sub action until the end. So I'm gonna give this a solid 8.
Oh yeah, there we go. Somebody's
8.
Loving the game.
Very formidable.
Okay, I'm gonna come in last here. So I've been watching Zach play this game. I only played the Super Nintendo version because I was like, I'm gonna load this onto my Super Nintendo Classic, play with the controllers, how it's meant to be played, all that stuff. And I gotta tell you what, man, this game takes gaming back to a time when gaming was so darn difficult, right? You talk now, everybody's like, oh, they talk about Dark Souls being like the hardest thing, and there's only like that one game, right? That's super, super hard. All games used to be super, super hard. Like I was talking about, you go through a level, you are keeping the entire damage you take through that level, and then you're carrying it on into level 2. And when you die, guess what? You're going right back to the start. There's no way for me to jump around. There's no way for me to save at a point and then try to do that level over. I mean, it's crazy.
Can I ask a quick question? Quick question?
Yeah, sure.
Did you ever do the arcade portion of it, like the shooting portion of it?
Yeah, I did. Hard as heck, man.
Because in the playthrough I saw, that's where they were regaining a lot of their power and their missiles and stuff like that.
If you can hit enough planes.
If you do well, If you do well, you get all your health back and stuff.
Yeah, if you do well is the big.
So if you had the super shooter or whatever it's called,
the super scope, theoretically,
super scope,
I could be doing really well, but I do not have. They didn't make that when they released the $80 classic. They didn't bring back the super scope, unfortunately, but.
They actually kind of should have. It's a tiny one though.
Oh, that would be, because it's a small Super Nintendo. It's like a pen. So and using the bonus level with that controller, it is so darn hard. Oh, okay. And Cuphead was mentioned down below as being a very difficult game. Cuphead is difficult. But at the same time, when I die in Cuphead, I don't have to like completely start the game over. You know, man, I played for 2.5 hours in a game that some people, speedrunners, are getting done in 30 minutes, and then I couldn't get past level 4. It reminded me when we played Hook for Super Nintendo, and I was like, what the hell was that, dude? I got to learn how to beat that game. And then I sped run that game, and I haven't checked my numbers in a while, but I was 19th or 20th or something in the world. But this is a game that I really enjoyed. It's crazy. It's making a lot of use of the Super Nintendo controller. You can flip the sub around. You hit the left bumper button, and you'll do a crazy Ivan. You have 4 different types of missiles. You can shoot straight ahead, shoot vertically. You can like lob one like a tennis ball, lob that, or you can just like drop one low in front of you. Lots of crazy action. And now that you say that there was a giant squid in it, Jamie, honestly, I was already thinking that this game was very similar to a game Zach and I reviewed called Steel Diver.
Oh, yeah.
And with the squid in it, I'm like, wow, did Steel Diver just totally rip this whole thing off, and advance the controls or make them even more difficult? But that one, like, there were checkpoints and stuff.
Yeah, good for the animal season, too.
Yeah.
Season, whatever animals movies are. Or animal movies and games. And
Squid games. Animal games, that'd be funny. So I had a really great time playing it. I'm going to keep playing it because I need to beat this game, and I'm going to match Zach. Honestly, before this even started, I was like, I'd give this an 8 because I had that much fun playing it. And I think the games that frustrate me the most are the ones that I come back to, and I'm like, why did I get so worked up over that freaking game? And I'm like, it's because it's hard, and I like a challenge, So, an 8 it is for me.
Solid.
And Zach, did you have Love It or Hate It?
Oh, I got Love It or Hate It. Cue the music, Kyle.
Do 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 do. Love it. Da, 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 da. Hate it. Da, 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 da. He loves it. He hates it. Oh, she loves it. She hates it.
Jamie, what do you want first?
What do I want first? I want Hate It. I want to see Hate It first.
So when we're talking video games, this isn't something as easy as just going to imdb.com and finding, 10s or 1s. And for a game this old, it absolutely wasn't easy finding these kind of reviews. Mostly you're going to find YouTube people playing this game, just ripping it apart with a lot of vulgarity. But we don't do that on this podcast. So, I did find the user, Joe the Destroyer. He did a review of this game on honestgamers.com. He had kind of a lengthy 1-star review, but I'm going to read you the last 2 paragraphs of his review. Okay? So here's Joe the Destroyer. Now, are you ready for a real kick in the ball sack? The game has bosses that require loads of torpedoes to fell. Because of that, you can't just gun down every adverse sub you meet and must conserve your armaments. Yeah, I've said this in other reviews, but here it goes. The Hunt for Red October is an action game where you often have to avoid action. Prospective developers, please keep this in mind when producing such titles. The Hunt for Red October is just another forgettable movie game with a steep difficulty generated by poor mechanics. It should be no surprise that it's a clunky, damn near unplayable mess that makes even the wonky arcade submarine shooter in The Hunt look like a legendary piece. Leave this sunken treasure at the bottom of the abyss where it belongs.
Starring Ed Harris.
Mm-hmm. That was Joe the Destroyer.
Now, I will say,
yeah.
You mentioned the controls, and granted, you're probably going off the Nintendo version. I can only speak to the Super Nintendo version. Because you are in the Typhoon class submarine, literally everything is faster than you, smaller than you. So you are the biggest target out there. You are your own biggest challenge, trying to maneuver and avoid everything. You can't run away. You got to fight. But it's, I mean, I guess I see some of the points.
Yeah, and I got 2 points as well. Yeah, I got 2 points. One, Caterpillar Drive was a huge part of Hunt for Red October. So the idea of being able to evade and avoid action seems to be in line with the film. So just like 1 point. Other point, Zach, I'm glad you mentioned that we know that was a vulgar review. We don't go for those vulgarities. And I didn't even mention during the time when Sean Connery's character was running through defusing bombs, the fact that they had his Captain Dick flopping all over the place, a little digital captain. I didn't even mention it. Do you know why? Because it's vulgar. I'm not gonna say it.
Wow.
We keep it classy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
All right. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pinch longer, but this is a legit 5 out of 5 star review by Gabrielle Mercado.
Would you make that up? Why'd you laugh about that?
Because I'm sure I mispronounced it. Me, myself, I love it. Reviewed in the United States, January 21st, 2004.
Oh, an old 16 years old,
Yeah.
man.
I have had the Hunt for Red October for a long time. It's from the movie of the same name, which I do not remember a thing because I was small when I saw it. The only thing I remember about the movie is that it starred Sean Connery. You are in a submarine and you fight off other submarines with torpedoes or mines in its path. You also have surface air missiles, which fires straight up from Red October's missile bays, which you can use against planes or boats. You have a weapon called electronic countermeasures, and the device floats in front of the ship when released and causes enemy ship to cease firing for a short time. And you have other weapons, just to name 2 or 3. The graphics are very nice, and the controls are awesome. Plus, you can use the super scope if you have it. I will tell you what the first mission is, but that's all because I do not want to spoil the game by telling you all the missions. Mission 1 is that you are a Soviet captain, Marco Ramius, in the years 1984, and you, disillusioned with your homeland and its government, you have decided to take your prototype submarine, the Red October, and defect to the United States. That's why I am telling you, because a lot of people like me love surprises. For other missions, it tells you in the instruction booklet. All the missions, so you know what they are about. And there are people who have seen the movie but never played the game. All in all, it's a great game. I still got my old SNES and this game. Thanks. Have a super year. 5 out of 5.
Big question. Just one question. So, Kyle, because in the run that I saw on YouTube, they never used any kind of electronic, whatever it was called, countermeasures. Okay. Was that in the Super Nintendo game?
Yeah, if you hit the right bumper or R button,
they never used it.
You would go invisible, and so other subs and stuff wouldn't actively attack you. However, if like turrets on the ground and stuff, they'd still be firing, and it didn't make you invincible, but it made you invisible.
I see. So I guess I was confused because I'd seen that somewhere that was available, but in the run that I saw, they never used it in that one.
Yeah, I tried to use it, and honestly, it made things worse because you'd get deeper into enemy territory, and it runs out pretty darn quick, and then all of a sudden you come back, and then they're all on you at once. So it was quite difficult.
All right, you guys ready for some trivia?
Yes, sir.
So I grabbed what I could. As we mentioned, the NES version had a very different type of level than the SNES. That was the platform style gameplay with Rabius, and then alternately, the Super Nintendo was one of only 11 games, not 7 games. They used a Super Scope accessory. It was used to only play some bonus stages where the submarine was in first person, and you were supposed to be destroying enemies and projectiles. And the use was still optional. Obviously, you wouldn't have to own the Super Scope in order to play the game. So in the end, how I heard it was that basically Super Scope was released in the United States. It sold incredibly poorly. to the point where they weren't even planning on releasing it to Japan, but in order to try to recoup costs, they shifted a bunch of the Super Scopes and tried to sell them in Japan just to try to recoup some costs.
Really? It
Like
was that
originally
bad?
wasn't even supposed to be. Yeah, it wasn't even supposed to be like sold in Japan, or maybe not as quickly. And so the big launch was supposed to be in North America, and it did not go so well. So they just shipped them all over to Japan to try to sell them.
Wow.
That doesn't
And then,
surprise me.
yeah, I mean, what's funny is the Zapper was great. I loved using that with Duck Hunt and stuff like that on the NES. So I guess I'm a little surprised that nothing caught on, because even one of the games that I saw, one of the 11, was like that T2 arcade game, the Terminator 2 arcade game, which I remember playing in ice hockey arenas and stuff like that, traveling around. And that one was pretty fun, and I could imagine the Super Scope being pretty fun using on a game like that.
So now
So I don't know, maybe
really
it just
good,
wasn't.
They've had really good success, I think, with other like rail shooter arcade style games, but
Yeah.
that came with the Wii and that type of stuff. I had a really fun time with House of the Dead.
House of the Dead. Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah,
So
maybe
good.
it just didn't. Super Scope maybe just didn't work well. That's the only thing I can think, that maybe whatever technology they were trying to use just didn't work very well.
And I was
it
so
was
young when we had it.
It was very inaccurate. I remember using it. It was a pain in the ass. And then it drained batteries like crazy. I think it took, 4 or 8.
As they say, yeah, the number of batteries was kind of hilarious that they listed. It was like 4D batteries or something.
It would die like after every other use. It took so much. It was crazy.
Well, dude, back in the day, all those
2
things
had
like,
the,
what are you saying, bro?
PlayStation 2 had a really nice light gun that came with Time Crisis 3. Man, I regret selling that. That was a fun one. Had the orange light gun.
Right.
I think it was USB powered.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
The battery
And you guys
stuff
ready for a
back
little
in the
trivia?
day. Yeah, it used to just be crazy because talking about that super scope draining batteries. Any of you guys ever have a Sega Game Gear?
Oh yeah, I think that also
Took 6 AA batteries and I mean, how many hours?
Like that had a full 3D screen though.
It was way ahead of its time. But like, if you did not have the AC, I have one in my closet right there, pointing right behind me. I've got a Game Gear in that closet right there, and thank God I have an AC adapter, because like I'm not sitting there charging up batteries all the time, and I don't want to do that. It's just nuts, man. It's like
I'm losing frames right now, guys.
Look at all those bombs dropping. My word.
Man, there's no way my toaster would be handling this right now.
Got a Hamilton Beach computer or something there?
Oh, snap.
All right, you got.
So I'm going to be doing some trivia. Yeah, some video gaming trivia. So I decided to go video gaming in general. That's the category from our Jeopardy. 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. I think I came in lowest, or maybe did Alex? No, you came in highest. Alex came in the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Who came in lowest?
I gave it a 4.
Maybe it was Brom. Yeah, Brom maybe. 200, 400, 600, 800, 1,000. What do you got, Brom?
200.
Oh, okay. Special edition of this.
I want to take the softball.
Yeah, the special edition of this Guitar Hero competitor comes with guitar, mic, and drum kit peripherals.
Rock Band.
Yeah,
What
200.
is Rock Band?
All right. And then, Zach, because you've been doing the hard labor of actually playing the game,
Right.
400, 600, 800, or 1,000.
1,000. Give me the most.
I think you might be able to get this. MMORPGers rejoice and play the Hyborian adventures of this swordsman created by Robert E. Howard.
Say that again.
MMORPG players rejoice and play the Hyborian adventures of this swordsman created by Robert E. Howard. Hyborian.
Is it the name of a game, or is it a character?
It's a character.
Oh, man, I might know this.
Somebody else go for it.
Hyborian adventures of this swordsman created by Robert E. Howard. Anyone else know it?
Yeah, the sword. I don't know the name.
Is it all right? This is going to be like a total out of left field guess, but my brother is big into Some of these things. I'm going to guess Dritz Duwarden.
No.
No.
No?
No.
Dang it, man.
No. It's not Chris Jordan. That would be a crazy Jeopardy answer.
I know. Well,
No one would get
what
that.
is this one going to be, man?
Those words don't make any sense, and
Yeah.
I don't. Did you make them up? That's for all I
Sounds
know. You
like
just made
it.
that up.
Sure does, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, swordsman?
Hyborian. He was a king. He was a king of Hyboria. Robert E. Howard wrote about him. Played by Arnold Schwarzenegger in a couple
Conan?
films.
Ah.
Conan.
Wait,
There's an
Hyborian.
MMORPG with him?
MMO?
Yeah, there's a Conan MMO.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's look.
I was saying the best part of Jeopardy video game categories is just how quickly they change. I saw some other ones where I was just like, I don't know what. Like, which one was Clayman part of? And I'm like, I don't know what you're referring to.
I know Clayman. That was Clay Fighters, right, or something.
I know
No, that's wrong. It's not Clay Fighters. It's a different game.
Conan
But this is the
came out 2008.
Yeah, so then this was Jeopardy in 2008. All right, so Kyle, 400, 600, or 800?
I got to try to recoup some here. 800.
The year is 1720 in the Sony Online Entertainment game named These Swarthy Types of the Burning Sea.
What? Can you read that question?
I know, it's a very, very confusing clue.
Yeah.
The year is 1720 in the Sony Online Entertainment game named These Swarthy Types of the Burning Sea. So the name is Blank of the Burning Sea.
Blank of
And the insert is some swarthy type.
Swirly? Swirly?
Swarthy.
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 I don't know,
Swarthy.
Pirates of the Burning Sea? I don't know.
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes. Pirates. Yes.
Ah, yes.
That's a dumb clue. I feel
All right,
like
and then
you don't have
Alex.
to be into video games at all to know the answer to that.
Can you think of
I know, that's a bad one.
Age of
Well,
Conan?
but the same thing with So Hyborian Adventures, I would have known because I knew Conan was Hyborian of the Hyborian age.
Conan just
And I
had
just would have known
their 12th anniversary event this year, so it's still going strong.
Dude, let's get
Alex,
on that.
400 or 600?
Double it.
400.
400? So this is the Nintendo one. And why I chose it, because it has to do with the accessories of Nintendo. Accessories for this Nintendo game system include boxing gloves, a dancing mat, and a balance board.
The Wii?
Yep. And then up in the air, because it's a pretty close game right now, given that Kyle guessed wrong with whatever he made up for the $1,000 one.
Do we say our name
So he's
to buzz in?
Yeah, you got to say it, buzz in with your name. Use a device that creates doors in the unlikeliest of places
Kyle.
in this futuristic game.
Dang it.
Kyle got it.
Portal.
Yeah.
Yes, Portal. And you made it up to tie Alex at 400.
Ooh.
All right.
So, spoiler, Alex and I, one day before super senior year of college started, I texted Alex because he was living in his townhouse or apartment near my townhouse, and I said, "Hey, come on over. I got Portal 2." How long did we play that game? Like 8 hours, where we sat down and beat the whole darn thing in one day.
Yeah, we did. It was pretty amazing.
That game is so good.
Zach and I beat it too, I think.
It is so fun. And there was even a level I got so frustrated because Alex and I couldn't figure it out. I left to go do something, and I came back or whatever, and Alex was like, "Dude, I did it. I soloed it." And I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I actually remember what you were trying to do at that point, but I'm not going to give it away to listeners. If they could guess, though, write it on our website what you think the guess is, and we'll let you know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like what Kyle went to do instead.
Yeah. What did I go do? Yes. I don't remember.
And then and I'm gonna finish up with a little Phantom Zone. Do you have the music for it?
Hey, maybe Jamie, you should
Yeah.
explain to any new listeners what Phantom Zone is.
Well, Phantom Zone is where we try to connect whatever we're doing here to our Lord and Savior, Ed Harris, who starred in the movie Phantom, which is episode 1. And don't go back and listen to that one because it is a terrible episode.
Yeah, you're connecting him through only actors, actresses, people associated with the film industry that have been in other submarine movies.
Right. All right. So are we ready?
We're ready.
Andrew Davie is listed as a designer on the game. So when you finish the game, that's actually the first name up there, designed by Andrew Davie. He was also a designer on the game Mech Warrior, which is based in the BattleTech world. And has any of you guys ever played BattleTech games? It's kind of like D&D, but like futuristic.
I have not.
I've not played.
And then they made a series. Yeah, then they made a series of video games as well. He was a designer on I think the first one, but it may have been the second release or something. Kind of like how there was NES and then a SNES version. He was on the second Mech Warrior, but it's just Mech Warrior 1 for the second system. And anyways, in the BattleTech world, there are submarines in different iterations. Now, Dean Devlin currently holds the rights to Mech Warrior franchise for film. And do people remember who Dean Devlin is?
No.
I do not.
Is he Landry's dad?
No, he is not. No, that's Glenn Morshower. But Dean Devlin is a longtime collaborator of Roland Emmerich. He wrote Godzilla, and so it's easy to go from there. And so he holds the rights for Mech Warrior. He actually was also, and Kyle, he was also the director of Geostorm.
Really?
Which starred Ed Harris. And it's because, that comes up every once in a while we mention Geostorm in passing on this podcast, including last week during the Waterworld episode. Kyle, you mentioned it because you mentioned how Ed Harris, you were saying he lost his fastball a little bit.
He was looking a little rough in there.
Right. You're saying it's not his best. And that's amusing because if you go back and listen to that first episode of this podcast, the very first episode was released in February, just mere months after we watched Geostorm in theaters together holding hands.
Yeah.
And we went on that podcast and we were talking about Geostorm. It came up on that first podcast. Seriously? And I said, you know what? I feel like he was looking a little rough, lost his fastball. And you were disagreeing with me.
Really? And then here at 100 and 13 episodes
15?
later. 15. Yeah.
114 episodes. 14, 15.
Craziness.
13.
Craziness.
Yeah. And now we're back. It's like time is a flat circle. So welcome to Submersion.
Submersion.
Episode 1.
15. But what? All right. What? Brom's got glasses on now. What's going on here? All right.
All right, let's go.
Moving on.
All right. Time for a little Subs Worldwide.
It's Subs Worldwide.
All right. So I've already covered the Typhoon class. Done it. Did it. Long time ago. So I was like, you know what? This game is bringing back a little bit of nostalgia. So why don't I put some nostalgia in this podcast right now for all of you? I played the Super Nintendo version. I grew up playing. I played a lot of the original Nintendo, but more so I played a lot more of the Super Nintendo. So I was like, let's go ahead and cover Super Nintendo tonight. So the Super Nintendo was originally do you guys know when it was released? In Japan?
96.
96.
Wait, Super Nintendo? It had to been earlier.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, Super Nintendo would have been 92.
I'm gonna say 3. In
94.
Japan, it would have been a year earlier, so probably 93.
All right,
92 and a half.
90.
All right, 92 and a half, 93, 94. Super Nintendo was originally released in Japan and South Korea in 1990.
Whoa!
Yep. And
Blown away.
in Japan, it was known as the Super Famicom, and South Korea, it was known as the Super Comboy. This is the second home console release by Nintendo, the first obviously being the Nintendo Entertainment System. And what year was that released in Japan? And the US, if you know both.
Which talking about the Game Boy?
No, the original Nintendo. When did that come out in Japan? When did it come out in America?
83 and 85.
85.
Okay.
I'll go 86.
86.
All right, so that was originally released in Japan in 1983.
Wow.
And it did come to the U.S. in 1986.
Yep.
All right. So I thought this was also kind of interesting. I mean, you think now, like console life, I mean, they've got what? It's like 6-ish years somewhere around there. The original Nintendo, so Nintendo, they had the NES, and that was not, they weren't really in any rush to push anything new out. But all of a sudden, other companies showed up releasing 16-bit systems. The TurboGrafx 16 and the Sega Genesis came out with 16-bit graphics. And then Nintendo thought, oh shoot, we better put something out because they didn't want to lose market share like crazy. So when they first released Super Nintendo, typical Nintendo, right? They underproduced stuff, and I guess it's just been going on since the beginning of the time. In Japan, they released 300,000 units. That's it. Sold out in a matter of hours. And I guess there was a bunch of funny stuff they have. I found some stuff on Wikipedia I thought was pretty funny. So it caused a quote-unquote social disturbance, whatever that means. And government asked Nintendo to make future releases on weekends so things wouldn't get so crazy. And also, Yakuza, the infamous Yakuza, were involved with the release of the Super Nintendo. So they were hijacking shipments of Super Nintendos. So Nintendo would have to ship these things out at night to avoid robbery.
That's crazy.
I know. I was like, that's out of control. And the SNES and Genesis, Sega Genesis, led to what has been known as the Console Wars.
It's a good book.
Is it a book?
Yeah, I got it on my bookshelf.
Well, you want to go ahead and just flash that real quick? Or just,
Downstairs.
Yeah. Nope, don't worry about it.
No, bring it upstairs.
Yeah, so Sega Genesis was targeted towards an older audience. But Nintendo was able to win out. I mean, right now, Nintendo, they're not targeted towards like necessarily an older audience. They do have games, but you think about people our age, whatever, you're probably going to gravitate towards, I don't know, a PC or PlayStation, Xbox, whatever. But Nintendo still does have great stuff. I still love it. I still play it a lot.
Nintendo's killing it this year.
They are killing it. I think their numbers just came out with the pandemic. Like, they have just skyrocketed.
Over 400%.
Out of control. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So they're still doing stuff right. And Nintendo won big because they got Street Fighter 2 on the console. And when they got it, Sega Genesis did not get it for another year. And so Nintendo used to have a lot of control over what their third-party manufacturers could and could not do, especially with Nintendo Entertainment System. I thought this stuff was kind of crazy. They would not allow third-party manufacturers to release more than 5 games a year, and the same game could not come out on another console within 2 years. So they really had the market with that. If you were there, I guess you're locked in. Obviously things are way different now. Stuff comes out on all consoles at all the same time. And as we'd mentioned here also, Nintendo is famous for its peripherals, right? They're always trying to put something in your hands to enhance your gameplay, give something, some kind of other thing. I can't tell if Brahms paused or what's going on, but that guy's just sitting there right now. That's totally, he's just got some recording going. He's smiling there. Okay, so as we mentioned here multiple times, the Super Scope, and you said 11 games, Jamie?
That's what it said, yeah. But some of them are weird because they're like built-in kind of like just show-offy games. So like it's like Super Scope, like whatever, and T2 arcade game. Those seem like they're ones where you couldn't really play without the Super Scope, so they were kind of released.
That was Yoshi's Safari. Like you could not own that game without the Super Scope. It just didn't work. So
you might have been right. It might have been right where you had like a 7 total, where Super Scope was just kind of integrated a little bit into the game.
Yeah, but still a very small number of the total number of games released. Super Scope was one of their peripherals. Another one, which I had at my house, was the SNES mouse. Did you guys have that for Mario Paint?
No.
Mm-hmm. I did.
No.
Oh yeah, that was always fun. You could just sit there and paint. They also made the Batter Up, which was a baseball bat.
Didn't know that.
Didn't know that either.
I had the the track running one for the original Nintendo.
Did you?
It was like a pad that you ran on as a track game.
Well, maybe you had this one then, because
Hurdles.
I didn't know this was a thing. The Life Fitness. It's an exercise bike controller.
No.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Seems like a little much.
Super Nintendo came out originally in 1990 in Japan. You guys in 91 in the US. What year do you think it was discontinued in Japan? What year do you think it was discontinued in North America?
Super Nintendo?
2003, 2001. Those are my two guesses. Japan.
99. 98, 99, something like that.
Okay.
2004.
So you're thinking like 2 years before the Wii, they discontinued the Super Nintendo, bro.
Yep.
Okay. Alex, any guesses?
I don't know. I'm going to say like 94.
I think it was there for 4 years. Okay. Well, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's shooting from the hip right now. I don't know what that guy's on. But anyways, Jamie, you were correct. In Japan, 2003 is when they discontinued it. U.S., Zach, you were correct. 1999. So, and did you guys know this? They released a new style Super NES in 1997.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked way different than the original. Like it was I looked at pictures of it. I was like, I've never seen this. It's like now how they do like they'll do like a PlayStation Pro, Slim, all that stuff. But I guess they've been doing this forever. I didn't realize it. And when this originally launched in the United States, it was for $200, which is equivalent to $375 today. So now I've got a few things here. I know I've gone on quite a bit about the SNES, whatever. But I've got top 5. I want you guys to tell me, what do you think are the top 5 best-selling Super Nintendo games of all time? And Brom,
Super Mario World, Final Fantasy VII, or 3, or whatever that was on the SNES. That was really popular. I think it was 3.
It was 3, yeah.
Probably Super Mario All-Stars.
Mario Kart.
Super
Metroid.
That's what we got.
I don't think Metroid's going to be on there. That game is probably too hard for a bunch of people.
Johnny's Big Adventure.
How many have we said already, Kyle?
I've heard 3 of 5.
Like 7 or 5.
Okay.
Waterworld.
I've heard 4 of 5.
E.T., the video game.
Donkey Kong Country, the original.
Oh, there you go.
That was a good one. Yeah, Donkey Kong, yeah.
I doubt the second and third one are on that list, but
Sam.
I mean, it's 2 and 3.
You guys have 4 out of 5. You guys have 4 out of 5.
Cool.
You got the top 4.
What are we missing here? Yep,
I mentioned it earlier.
Kirby Superstar?
I mentioned it earlier.
Godzilla.
I wish.
I wish too.
Sonic.
No, that's a Sega thing, Jamie.
Sega,
look at you. What is that?
Mortal Kombat.
Smile.
Oh,
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 2.
There you go. All right. So yeah, Super Mario World at the top spot with 20.6 million. Super Mario All-Stars at 10.55 million. Donkey Kong Country with 9.3. Super Mario Kart with 8.76, and Street Fighter 2, The World Warrior with 6.3. Just missing it were number 6 spot, Donkey Kong Country 2, followed by Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, followed by Yoshi's Island, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, and Donkey Kong Country, which leads me into my next thing. So that was best-selling Super Nintendo games all time. I know, dude. I've got so much tonight. I've got a lot here. So
I'm gonna dip out of here soon, guys.
Yeah, all right. So I found 2 different sites that talk about the top 10 rated Nintendo games or Super Nintendo games all time. So you want to give me top 5? You guys have already mentioned some of them and what you think are best selling.
Wait, best selling or best rated? You told us how many
This
units
is
were
best
sold.
rated. This is best rated, but you mentioned some of these titles
Oh.
in best selling. And
What was that one
we got
that
results from Digital
Chrono
Trends
Trigger?
and IGN.
Chrono Trigger.
You got
Chrono
one of
Trigger.
them. You got one of them.
Was one of the Final Fantasy 3s or something on there? 4, 3?
Yep.
Yeah. Was Link
Street
to the
Fighter 2.
Past on that?
Link to the Past is
'Cause
the
I knew it
only
didn't sell a
one of
lot.
the only ones that they agree on, and that is number 1 rated. Both
Yeah.
sites.
Johnny's Big Adventure.
No, did not.
Water
Donkey Kong Country 3.
Sonic.
No.
What's
No.
that one? Secret of Mana? That one was pretty popular.
That's
yeah,
a
that's a good one.
yeah.
So,
Probably not
Secret
on
of
there.
Mana is another
Popular.
one that the only other one I could find they agreed on, and that came in at number 11.
Robot World.
I give up.
Yeah. What you guys are missing here, I mean, granted, there's some difference here. Super Metroid made both lists, and Super Mario World also made both lists. And that is what I have for my very lengthy segment tonight. So, Alex, you got any news for us, man?
Not submarine news, but
But you got some kind of news?
sure.
Well, let's cue the music. 1, 2, 3. Can't play it. Don't know what's going on. Hold on. All right,
That'll be
Alex.
inserted.
What do you got for us?
Okay, well, since we're doing the guessing game tonight where everybody has to guess,
I like this.
what was some really big video game news? Because we're talking about video games that just came out within the past
Cyberpunk?
week. No.
Halo will not
Yes,
launch with Xbox.
Correct. Okay, so leading up into that news, whenever Halo or big games has a big release, what's something else that also gets released with it?
A patch.
A lot of shooters do this. Well, no, but like another product that you buy to
Season
keep you going
pass.
all night long.
Oh, Gamer Fuel.
Yeah. Okay. So since Halo got delayed, all those cans that they already made are still out there, and they're going to go ahead and release them. And that double XP that you're supposed to get with it is supposed to end at December 31st. So
No
the
way.
game is, yeah, so it's not going to happen. But the good news is they're going to work on it, and you'll still be able to get the double EXP, and they're going to hopefully all come together and hold hands and get this all worked out for all of us, because I think we all know anyone playing Halo is going to need a lot of Mountain Dew, clean socks, some hand sanitizer, and then your choice of snack, whether that be Doritos, Cheetos, taquitos.
Any other Eatos?
Hot Pockets.
Hey,
Hot Pockets, thank you.
Hot
Klondike
Pocket-
bars.
Hot Pocketos.
I don't know. Like, really, I have very little knowledge of what you guys are talking about.
Come on, man. Halo.
They released Gamer Fuel. This is a thing.
Oh,
Gamer
dude.
Fuel.
Mountain Dew,
Halo-
man.
Gamer Fuel.
Halo 2 is when they first, I think, was when they first introduced the concept of Gamer Fuel. Or 3. Maybe it was Halo 3 in college. I can't remember.
Well, I don't drink Mountain Dew. So
Well, then it won't
Okay.
affect you. All right.
Yeah. That's all I got, since you guys we've already taken up a long time tonight for reviewing a really shitty game. So.
Oh, hold your tongue.
All right.
All right.
Keep it going.
Brom, you got something for us?
You're going to have to tell me when to go.
Any viewers on Twitch, we have theme music, but we can't hear it.
okay.
You're good to go.
All right.
We're back.
And I'm good to go. So tonight I'll keep it very swift here. Got my top 5 video games that were adapted from movies.
Interesting.
That's a good top 5 list.
Oh, I mean, I know the number one. It seems obvious, but
Yep, it was for me. But this is pretty self-curated. I looked for some inspiration from what other people were thinking about this, and my number 1 was, I guess, less obvious, or maybe it was too obvious, and they wanted to be hip and cool and pick something else. But Starting off, number 5, counting down here. Number 5, I'm going to go with Spider-Man for the PlayStation 2, 2002 video game.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
also released on GameCube, Xbox, and PC.
That was hyped.
It was great. It was amazing.
Yep.
To a Metascore of 76, which is pretty low, honestly, but I had a blast with it. I imagine a lot of you guys also played it, and remember doing all the cheat codes and stuff too, but followed the events of the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire movie, Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin, amongst others, and it's a fun one. It's a good one.
Is that the one where like you'd fight Carnage and all them? And where was he at? He was in some kind of like lab or something.
I don't think Carnage was in that one.
Okay.
Could be mistaken. Spider-Man 2 was higher rated. Might have showed up in that one.
Okay.
Number 4, I couldn't remember if this was the one that Kyle played a lot. I guess it was Hook. Number 4, though, for me is Aladdin for the Sega Genesis.
Oh, man. They just re-released those games.
Yeah, you can get on the Switch. You can get Aladdin and Lion King now in a bundle.
Yep.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis version of Aladdin from 1993, though, a great platformer, really stands the test of time, too, if you're looking for a good nostalgic platformer. Highly recommend Aladdin if you never played it, but very good mechanics, very fun, smooth experience.
I like Lion King better.
Oh!
Hot take.
Dude,
Hot take.
I had that
Controversial opinion
on
alert.
Game Gear. Well, still do, in that closet, which I pointed to earlier today. Right there.
No, is that the closet?
That game is so hard, man. The level where
Which
you got to
one?
jump on all the wildebeest. Whew.
Lion King.
No, Aladdin.
It was a tough one.
Aladdin. Number 3, I'm gonna go with. God, there's so many from this universe. So this is probably not at the top of many. A lot of people would probably go with Knights of the Old Republic, but my Star Wars pick is Jedi Starfighter, PlayStation 2, 2002 release. My brother bought it for me, and I played the crap out of this game. Released to a lot of solid reviews. Ultimately, Metascore now is 81 on it, but very fun. You play as, I can't remember her name, Kalia or something, but some obscure Jedi who rises to prominence in the Star Wars as she pilots her Jedi Starfighter. You also play Nim, I think was his name, who's like a mercenary, and so you bounce back and forth between their two starships, and missions are fun, characters are fun. Really good dogfighter. Not as good as Star Fox. That's my go-to Starfighter, but Jedi Starfighter for that generation was a great entry.
Well,
Number
we'll
2,
have to see how that
I liked,
new one coming out is
TIE
going to
Fighter.
do.
Yeah, that looks really good.
TIE Fighter was sweet.
TIE Fighter for PC was what we used to do
I used to
growing up.
play that
TIE
with
Fighter
a
and the next one was
joystick
TIE Fighter, whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a popular selection as well. It was either Knights
Or
of
the
the
pod
Old
racing.
Republic
I mean,
or TIE Fighter.
The pod racing game for, was it N64?
Yep.
I can't remember, but
Which
that one
they
was pretty
just
good too.
re-released.
That was an N64 release title. I think a lot of N64
that was good.
were
It was a good
bundled
game.
with that one.
Wasn't there one of them that was on the PlayStation now?
Now that's
I thought
Racer's
that-
Revenge, and
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's the second one. But now they also re-released Pod Racer, which is the first one, which many of us played. Because a while ago I downloaded Racer's Revenge.
Right.
I mean, it's very similar, but I mean, what are you going to change? But yeah, now Pod Racer is on Switch, PS4, probably on Xbox. I don't know though.
All right.
Awesome.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Die Hard Trilogy for the PlayStation,
Wow.
1996 release.
I don't think I've ever heard of this. Is it kind of like an adventure game? What's the gameplay like?
So it's actually really cool. There's 3 different games in on the disc or discs. I can't remember if it was multiple discs, but Die Hard 1 was a third-person shooter where you navigate the different floors. So every time you beat a level, you have to kill all the enemies on a level. There's a little ticker in the top right corner telling you how many guys are left. You have to kill them all, then you get to advance to the next floor, and you just go floor by floor by floor by floor, killing all the terrorists. And I remember the God mode is RUDS, right up, down, square. I still remember the cheat code to go into God mode on that. And I haven't played it in like 19 years or 18 years or something like that, probably, or more, really. The second one in that box set was a on-rail shooter, so a la like a Time Crisis or House of the Dead. And then the third one was it Die Hard with a Vengeance or whatever the third movie was called. It was like a taxi driver one where you had to you drive a taxi and you have to hit all the different checkpoints and whatnot. But no, really cool game. Especially as a child, I don't know, it probably doesn't hold up nowadays, but Die Hard Trilogy is my number 2. And number 1, it's obvious.
Let's say it all together, probably. Yeah.
Let's say it all together. 3, 2, 1.
GoldenEye.
Hook. I'm just kidding. GoldenEye for the N64, 1997. 96 Metascore. Critically beloved. This was like the godfather of first-person shooters. Obviously not the very first, but the one that brought the format to prominence, and everyone fell in love with first-person shooters. And I feel like every year since, people just piled those suckers onto every console that was released thereafter. Nothing really able to emulate the excitement though of GoldenEye. There was just so much fun to be had there in the multiplayer, and even the single player. The campaign has some very memorable levels too. But
even the cheats were really funny. Big head mode, stuff like
paintball,
that.
Paintball mode.
It was a great game. It is a great game.
And I'll tell you what, man, all those developers, they went on and made another game called Time Splitters, and that is one of my favorite shooters that's ever been made in that whole series. They have a lot of fun game modes and stuff. Virus is one of them. It's like a tag type game, but there's a lot of hope that game ever gets remade. But yeah, they came over from GoldenEye and did that.
GoldenEye, that was made by Rare, right?
Yep.
That was Rare.
People that made Perfect Dark, and
Banjo-Kazooie,
Viva Pinata, Sea of Thieves.
Rare did all the Donkey Kong Country games.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Conquer Bad Verde, one of the greatest games ever made.
Yep.
Yeah.
But those are my
Robot
top
Lands.
5 games based on movies.
Those
There
are
it
good,
is.
man. Those are good. All right, Zach, you are looking anxious. He's got to work tomorrow. Let's get into those Zach
So
facts.
do I.
I'm getting to bed earlier these
Electrical.
days, so this is not going to happen again. Hit it.
Going down. Zach back.
Oh, you're saying go, Kyle? All right. Zach Facts. It's Zach Facts. Zach Facts. Ladies and gentlemen, are we doing the over-under? What are we doing? Come on.
3.
Under.
Over
Under.
under.
I'm
Over
gonna say
under.
Under.
Over under 4.5.
Ooh.
Under.
Over 1.
Under.
Alex said over 1. I heard that.
There's a lot of nostalgia with this guy and Doug playing this game, so ooh, man, I'm gonna go over on this.
I'm going over too.
What'd Jamie say?
Under.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very first time ever special edition, the very special Zach Facts Viewer Question Showcase Spectacular. So if you have already, or if you're sick of hearing questions, because apparently we were all on the same brainwave this week, well, I've got
Question
more
stuff?
coming.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Like, no joke. the very special Zach Facts Viewer Question Showcase Spectacular. Fact number 1. 79% of our viewers wanted to know which one of us is most like Sean Connery from this game. And then I'll tell you what our viewers answered after I hear what you guys guess.
Most like Sean Connery. Alex.
That is correct.
From this game, you think Alex?
Yeah, from this game.
Yeah.
Who's reckless? Just drive a sub.
See, no. From this game, I'm gonna say Kyle.
Really?
You're nimble. You're hopping from ladder to platform,
Diffusing bombs.
diffusing bombs.
That's a big.
I'm a
hobby of mine.
pacifist, so I'm not into the shooting all those anonymous bad guys. But you're probably going crazy on that. You're
Well, I
loving
guess,
it.
yeah, if you say that.
I've played basketball with the most number of hosts of this podcast, and I can tell you that those jumping skills,
They're not there.
it's Alex. It's Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll go ahead and I'll
See,
say
that's the thing
Alex, yeah.
79% of our viewers said Kyle.
Whoa! Probably the same reason I did.
And that's
Wow.
a
He's
fact.
violent. Loves killing people
Dang.
and jumping. Two things I know
Fact
about
number
him.
2. Viewers asked us, the hosts, if you knew hell would be you sitting in a humid room playing this game for eternity, would you change the way you live to avoid it?
Nah. Well, how long do I live my life?
Yeah,
It's
why?
just-
Why am I going to hell? What do I have to change?
Just saying, right now, if everything you've been doing is going to lead you to hell, and that's what hell is,
Yeah.
I'm not
would you
doing anything.
change? Would you change?
There's no
In what
physical
way?
pain involved, so nah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I'd
don't
roll
know,
the
man.
dice.
I rated this an 8, so I guess I gotta go with that, right?
I'd change. I just need more guidance.
Gotta go to the Dagobah system for that one, buddy.
Good one. Yeah. Good call.
That was fact 2. Think there's more?
That's a fact. That those
I
listeners
do.
asked
I
that
don't know,
question.
man.
Fact number 3. It's coming.
Hmm.
Viewers wanted to know how many of us actually owned an NES at some point. And the viewers answered, I'll give you what they thought first. The viewers said they think all of us had one except Jamie, because he's a fancy boy.
That's true. I am a fancy lad. No, and I'm not a fancy boy. Get out of here. I'm a fancy lad. And the fact is, I think it's all depending on your interpretation of the question. Because my older brothers obviously had an NES. And NES came out when I was a wee fancy lad. And they had a
What would you
NES
say?
that I continued to play. Did I own it? They would say no. And they would punch me in the arm. And I'd go, Mom! And that'd be that.
They're like, that damn fancy boy saying that NES is his again.
Find myself in a similar but also dissimilar situation. It was my brothers who owned it. But my brother was so much older that I don't think he cared. But ultimately, it was gone one day, and I think it got upgraded to a different console. So I guess technically, I didn't own a Nintendo by that token.
I think mine's still in the house. I could probably go home and plug it in.
Go steal it. Bring it back.
Yeah, get it.
Ours was like a family console, so
Yeah.
I don't know that I can also say like I couldn't take ownership. You know, that was ours collectively as a family. So
There was,
I don't
never
think I
one-
can say I did.
there was never one in my household at any time growing up.
Wow. So the twist was that Alex was a fancy lad all along.
That's the Zach Fact twist.
Mm.
There you go,
Night
viewers.
Shyamalan up in here.
Viewers were wrong. Viewers were wrong.
You
Guys
did have
think
a
there-
VHS player though, so
Guys think there's a 4th Zach Fact?
Yes.
I think there's a
Now
fifth,
I think so,
a
yeah,
fifth,
for sure.
Maybe a 6th. I don't know.
Fact
Amy?
number 4.
Wow.
One viewer might have asked, Kyle, can you get on the speedrun leaderboard under the name Harry? What's his last name again, Kyle?
Ketel.
Okay, if you can get on the leaderboard on speedruns.com with this game with that username.
I highly doubt it. This game is hard as hell.
Kyle, there's 2 people on the leaderboard.
Okay, I can do it.
Yes.
I can do it.
I think I could crack that top 3.
Yeah, and they're like Harry Keetle in it 5 hours.
You just have to be able to beat the game.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you would have done it tonight during this stream, you would have been on the leaderboard.
If I would have been recording it and I could submit it to their
whatever
they're
been recorded.
This is how I submitted Hook.
That's true. If I had beaten it, then yeah, we could have submitted this entire episode to the
Somebody would have had to sit down and listen to it all. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, what is that about?
Man, imagine if he had beat the game while we were streaming it. Just how crazy we would have all went. We're like, wow!
That would have been epic.
Yeah.
Lightning in a bottle. All right. You guys think that's it? Is it over?
Well, it seems like you're having like a lot of fun. I think you might keep on
I
going.
think this guy has another one.
Fact number 5 of the very special Zach Facts Viewer Question Showcase Spectacular.
Yes.
This viewer asked, what the hell happened to There It Is? I never hear that anymore. You suck, Zach. And everybody hates your facts. Give it up already.
Wow, brutal.
Well, but you had that phone issue. I think that completely real listener who's submitting a question to you is not accounting for the fact that your phone fucked up.
Yeah.
Totally boned you.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
Oh.
I'm not going to give it up. So whoever you are, screw you.
Wow. Savage.
All right. That was 5. It's probably enough, right? It'd be crazy if I had 6.
I mean, if you had 6, it'd be like earth shattering. My world would be shattered.
The final Zach Fact for the very special Zach Facts Viewer Question Showcase Spectacular is indeed fact number 6.
Wow. 6 facts.
This was 100%. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but our subreddit is really taken off. So 100% of our subreddit members submitted this question.
100?
Yeah. If you could save the human race by playing this game every day for 2 hours until the day you finally died, would you do it? And the viewers think Alex would not.
I would agree that Alex would not.
I also agree with that statement. I guess it depends. Now with this new technology that we're dealing with here, I guess we could all play it while we're recording the episode. Because otherwise, when we're recording a podcast, that means what? 3 or 4 hours spent recording the podcast plus 2 playing that game. That's a lot of hours.
And think how many times you'd be on the leaderboard, man, if you did it 2 hours every single day.
Yeah, eventually you'd be tired of beating your speed record.
Yeah. It'd get to be fun, man.
No. I would not do it.
No? Even to save the human race?
No, I wouldn't.
Even to save my daughter's life, Brom, you would.
I guess if I could.
Oh,
True. And think about it. Yeah.
If I could parlay
eventually
into
fail.
like someone paying me, like, oh, like this
Parlay.
kid in Ohio is gonna save the human race, so we gotta pay him, otherwise he's gonna quit. Then I'd probably do it.
So you'd only do
I'm
it for
sure
the
I could-
sponsorship.
Yeah, and get paid to do it.
All right. 2 hours a day.
Gotta make it worth my while, you know.
Does it have to be like 2 hours every day? What if you did like 8 hours in one day and that counts for 4 days?
No,
It's a
Good
good
question.
question.
Yeah.
Worry about that.
you gotta
And the
bring
viewer, Alex, the viewers knew you would say that too.
True.
you gotta bring your toaster computer with you on vacation.
Yeah. Well, if I can't, that has to be 2 hours every day. No.
Mhm.
But can I do it once for 8 hours every couple of days? Oh yeah, easy.
You would sit down and
You
play
guys
this
think
for 8
Yeah.
hours? Yeah, right, dude.
Oh, I
You don't
easily
have to
could.
be sober.
gamer fuel.
Oh, Gamer Fuel. There you go. You
True.
get
Gamer fuel.
sponsorship.
You did not account for the gamer fuel.
I would watch Alex play Godzilla on Super Nintendo for 8 hours.
Oh,
I would watch that actually. I would.
Yeah, me too.
I would check into that stream. I would. That's it. That was only 6. It's over.
all right.
It's over.
Ah,
Well, we do have a listener question, but this has
Oh,
gone
no,
on
we're
for
not
so
doing
no,
long. We're
no,
gonna have to.
No.
We're gonna have to push it off.
But we
We
have
will get to it.
literally 3.5 minutes and we're at 2 hours. We could
We
wait.
have to
We could do it. We could do it.
Nope. Let's be done with it.
Thank you for listening to Submersion. Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every Thursday. If you like what you heard, please leave us a rating wherever you listen. Want to interact with us? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also love to get messages from all of you. If you have a suggestion, a comment, or just anything you'd like to share, please email us at macestudios@gmail.com.